Is the economy really that complicated? Or is it just made to seem that way? At its heart, the economy is simple. It's how we create, exchange, and save value over time. It all begins with human effort. We work, we produce goods and services, we trade them, and we store the value of our work for later. That stored value is what we call money. But money was never meant to make people rich. It was designed as a tool, like a battery for our time and energy. Originally, money had to be something rare and difficult to create, like gold. Gold worked because you couldn't just snap your fingers and make more of it. It required real work, time, and resources, making it a fair stand-in for human labor. Over time, we shifted from physical money to paper IOUs. At first, these notes were backed by real assets. A dollar bill represented a specific amount of gold you could claim. The system was based on trust. The big problem started when governments realized they could break that promise. When money stopped being backed by something scarce and became backed only by government decree, everything changed. This is the world of fiat money we live in today. Fiat money has no built-in scarcity. It can be created instantly, digitally, and in unlimited amounts. This is the bedrock of our modern financial system. Central banks are in control. When the economy slows down, they print more money. When a crisis hits, they print even more. They tell us this is necessary and technical, but the consequences are actually very simple. When you increase the supply of money faster than the supply of goods and services, the value of each dollar goes down. This is inflation. And no, inflation isn't just rising prices. Rising prices are the symptom. Inflation is the disease. It's the loss of your purchasing power. It's a silent tax that hits everyone, but it hurts savers the most. The more money that gets created, the less your hard-earned savings are worth. If you work hard and save responsibly in cash, the system is designed to slowly eat away at what you've built. This isn't a mistake, it's a feature. Governments benefit from inflation because it makes their massive debts easier to pay back with cheaper money. It creates a cycle. Governments spend more than they earn, borrow to fill the gap, and then rely on inflation to manage the debt. Central banks help this along by keeping interest rates artificially low. Low rates encourage more borrowing and punish saving. When saving is penalized and debt is rewarded, people change their behavior. They're forced to take bigger risks with their money, pouring it into stocks or real estate, just to try and keep up with inflation. This is why you see housing and stock markets soar. It's not always because those assets are more productive. It's because the money used to buy them is becoming worth less. This whole process quietly transfers wealth from the majority to a select few who own these assets. Understanding this is the first step to protecting yourself. The economy isn't a neutral playing field. It has rules and incentives. If you play by the rules, you can navigate it. If you don't, you'll pay the price without even knowing why. To protect yourself, you need to understand the difference between money and wealth. Money is what you use for transactions. Wealth is what holds its value over the long run. Wealth is scarce, hard to create, and resists being diluted. Cash is just money. It's not wealth. In a system where the cash supply is endless, holding cash is a guaranteed way to lose value over time. This is why, throughout history, people have sought out better stores of value, things like gold, land, or great works of art. These things are rooted in reality. You can't just print more of them. And this brings us to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is something new. Digital scarcity. For the first time ever, we've created a digital asset that no central authority can inflate, manipulate, or control. Bitcoin has a fixed supply capped at 21 million. This isn't just a policy. It's embedded in its code. No government can change it. No central bank can print more. No crisis can justify breaking this rule. Bitcoin runs on math and consensus, not politics. This makes it fundamentally different from the money in your bank account. It works as a store of value because it has the right properties. It's scarce, durable, divisible, portable, and easy to verify. But unlike gold, you can send it across the world in minutes. Unlike real estate, it can't be easily seized. And unlike stocks, its value doesn't depend on a CEO or company profits. Bitcoin doesn't promise you anything. It just exists, governed by rules that can't be broken. This makes it a powerful hedge against the flaws of our traditional financial system. When governments print more money, Bitcoin's supply stays the same. When trust in institutions fades, Bitcoin remains a neutral, trustless network. This is why more and more people are using it to preserve their wealth. They're not just chasing quick profits. They're trying to protect themselves from a system they see as failing. Protecting your financial future in this economy requires a new mindset. You can't just rely on a salary. You can't trust a savings account to hold its value. You can't just assume that doing everything by the book will be enough. You have to think about the system itself. Where is value being destroyed, and where is it being preserved? Diversification is key, but real protection comes from owning assets that are outside the reach of monetary inflation. Bitcoin is uniquely suited for this role. It's not a replacement for everything, but it's a solid foundation, a monetary base layer immune to the whims of central planners. Now, does this mean the price of Bitcoin won't go up and down? Of course not. Volatility is the price you pay for being early to a revolutionary new asset. But volatility isn't the same as risk. The real risk is the permanent loss of purchasing power, and that's exactly what fiat currency guarantees over time. Bitcoin offers a way to escape that guarantee. Over the long term, Bitcoin has proven its ability to absorb the expansion of the money supply and reflect it in its price. It's not creating value from thin air. It's just an honest measuring stick in a dishonest system. As more money gets printed, scarce assets naturally go up in price. Bitcoin just does this with complete transparency. The right strategy isn't to panic or speculate, it's to educate yourself and be patient. Understand how money really works. Understand why inflation is a permanent feature of our system. And understand why governments can't stop printing money without crashing the very system they've built. Once you see that, you can start allocating a portion of your savings into assets that can't be debased. Bitcoin is one of the most powerful tools we have for this. Its value doesn't rely on trusting politicians or institutions. It relies on math. In a world drowning in debt, with a constantly expanding money supply and eroding trust, that's an incredibly powerful thing. The economy may look complex, but the core mechanics are simple. Value is created by people. Money is printed by governments, and your purchasing power is diluted as a result. Those who understand this will seek shelter. Those who don't will slowly lose their financial footing, wondering what went wrong. Bitcoin isn't a magic wand, but it's a rational response. It is a way to opt out of a broken system and store the value of your time and effort in something that respects scarcity. Ultimately, protecting yourself isn't about outsmarting the market, it's about understanding the incentives. The incentive of fiat money is to dilute. The incentive of Bitcoin is to preserve. Once you see the system for what it is, the choice becomes a lot clearer. The economy isn't broken by accident. It's working exactly as designed. The only question is, will you keep playing a game you're destined to lose, or will you choose the tools that can actually protect you? Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, be sure to like and subscribe for more content that breaks down the world of finance.